very good morning to all of you. Our chief guest, Senior Professor Sampath Amaratunga, our guest of honor, Dr. U. Anurukumara, and our keynote speaker, Professor Ong Seo Eng, heads of departments, senior professors, academic staff members, distinguished invitees, and dear students. We warmly welcome all of you to the inauguration ceremony of the International Conference on Real Estate Management and Valuation 2019 under the theme Smart Real Estate Towards Unmet Socio-Economic Needs, organized by the Estate Management and Valuation Research and Professional Development Center of the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, University of Sri Jayewardenepura. We are gathered here today to acquire, challenge, disseminate, and reward knowledge, conforming to the motto of our alma mater, Vidya Upatatang Setta. Among all that rise, knowledge is the greatest. First and foremost, to pay a moment of gratitude to our alma mater, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the university anthem.
Sri Lanka Pinvarandirani Sri Nivasavu Mahaganagare Sri Jayawardenepura Sarasari Sri Namaya Randavam Lomuduni Hikkaduwe Siri Sumagul Samidun Vidyodaya Vidubimadun Eliyen Divi Magasarasau Sri Lanka Pinvarandirani Sri Nivasavu Mahaganagare Sri Jayawardenepura Sarasari Sri Namaya Randavam Lomuduni Ayuktiyedi vivadashili
Asatyayedi vicharashili
Viyat sabha med samajashili Viyatun vidaya pogayav Sri Lanka Pinvarandirani Sri Nivasavu Mahaganagare Jayawardenepura Sarasari Sri Namaya Randavam Lomuduni Vidya Upatatang Setta Vidya Upatatang Setta Vidya Upatatang Setta.
To go along with the traditions and to symbolize the historical event of lighting the oil lamp, may I cordially invite Vice Chancellor of University of Sri Jayewardenepura, Senior Professor Sampath Amaratunga, Dean of the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, Dr. U. Anurukumara, Head of the Department of Estate Management and Valuation, Dr. Mrs. N.C. Vikramarachi, Chair of the International Conference on Research on Real Estate Management and Valuation 2019, Dr. Mrs. Upuli Pereira. Keynote speaker for today, Professor Ong Seo Eng. Chairman of the Urban Development Authority, Dr. Jagat Munasinghe. Chief Valuer of Government Valuation Department, Mrs. Pushpa Muthukumarana. Academic Partner, University Sains Malaysia, Dr. Atasia Osmadi. Professors of Department of Estate Management and Valuation, Senior Professor R.G. Aryavansa, Professor Mrs. K.G.P.K. Veerakon, Professor Mrs. J. Edrisinghe, Secretary of the International Conference on Real Estate Management and Valuation 2019, Mr. Pratap Kulatantri, Vice President of RICS Sri Lanka, Mr. Ajit Fernando, Colombo Municipal Commissioner, Mr. Palitha Nanayakara, President of the Institute of Valuers of Sri Lanka, Mr. A.A. Fatihu, our gold sponsors, National Savings Bank and Sunil Fernando and Associates Private Limited, and the President of the Student Association of the Department of Estate Management and Valuation, Mr. Lahiru Priyala. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Now, I most cordially invite these eminent panel of guests to take your places at the head table. Vice Chancellor, Senior Professor Sampath Amaratunga, Dean of the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, Dr. U. Anurakumara, Head of the Department of Estate Management and Evaluation, Dr. Mrs. N.C. Wickramaratchi, Conference Chair, Dr. Mrs. Upuli Pereira, Keynote Speaker, Professor Ong Seo Eng, and Senior Professor R.G. Aryawansa. And now, let me have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Mrs. Upuli Pereira, the Conference Chair of International Conference on Real Estate Management and Valuation 2019, to provide a briefing of this event and to welcome this distinguished gathering.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of organizers of this conference, I'm happy to greet all of you here to the 3rd International Conference on Real Estate Management and Valuation 2019. The choice to have this conference and its theme, Smart Real Estate Towards Unmet Socioeconomic Needs, is actually not accidental, but deliberate to tackle the issues in the field of real estate, or we commonly known as land resource, and to chart and initiate this real estate field in Sri Lanka, as well as the region, into new heights. Having this new form of landscape where the production, distribution, value addition, and consumption of land resources and or real estate are being transforming into new levels of equilibriums, and having the concerns on economic pressures and tensions and climatic changes and dynamic social environments, we as actors in this whole scenario, it is important that we create platforms to revisit, rethink about our actions and policies and the initiatives and also the research and development that we do to make the better world. In that note, today in this hall, we have heads and representatives of many key institutions affiliated to both state and private sector working in the field of real estate, voices from real estate business and technology. Also, this conference and its initiative is now getting spanning across with the key universities in the Asian Pacific region. Having building up from previous 2 national and international conferences, this year we have innovated the conference mainstream by bringing multiple branded platforms, the industry dialogue, academic sessions, and the real estate talk, to further enhance the opportunity for both academic and practitioners to share their ideas, the business cases, and give feedback on both theory and practice. This year, we are also in the effort of trying out some online mechanisms for more and more intellects to get connected, to unite and cross the borders, and to contribute to the conference regardless of where we are based, and trying to minimize the air traveling and trying to walk the talk rather than talk the talk in terms of being smart and sustainable and to become trendsetters in the field. Today we also have this unlock.lk platform, a collaborative arrangement by United Nations Sri Lanka and Ministry of National Policies and Economic Affairs, joined with us with the conference. It's a platform for an inclusive discussion on development changes with an aim towards making actionable changes to national policy. So we have volunteers stationed here, and we invite not only the speakers but also all the delegates to make your voice heard. There are a camera stationed here and volunteers there. So all the delegates we invite to make your voice heard on climatic resilience, urban planning, water, air quality, waste management, reducing disaster risk in the light of real estate development. The outcomes and the discussions of today's conference then will be translated into a policy advisory document regarding sustainable development and its targeted areas. So at this very stimulating moment, I'm greatly honored to welcome the chief guest of the conference, Senior Professor Sampath Amarathunga, Vice Chancellor of University of Sri Jayawardenepura. Our guest of honor, Dr. U. Anurakumara, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, University of Sri Jayawardenepura. And also Dr. Nishani Vikramarachchi, Head, Department of Estate Management and Valuation, Director for Research and Professional Development Center, and also all the academic staff members of the department. I also like to welcome the keynote speakers of this conference today, Professor Ong Seowen from National University of Singapore, Chartered Valuation Surveyor, Mr. H.M. Premtilaka, University of Sri Jayawardenepura, and Dr. Atasya Osamadi from University Sains, Malaysia, and also as the representative from our academic partner ICREMV 2019. We would like to also welcome all the heads of collaborative partner institutions. ICREMV is a collaborative effort of University of Sri Jayawardenepura, Department of Estate Management and Valuation, and also Department of Valuation, Urban Development Authority, Colombo Municipal Council, and also the Institute of Valuers Sri Lanka, and Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. So I would like to warmly welcome our Chief Valuer, Government Chief Valuer, Mrs. Pushpa Muthukumarana, and also Dr. Jagat Munasinghe, Chairman UDA. He was informed he's on the way. And also the Municipal Assessor, Mr. RBNM Ratnavira, the President of IVSL, Institute of Valuers Sri Lanka, Mr. AAM Fathiv, and the Secretary, Mr. GM Sumanasena, the Vice Chairman of Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors Sri Lankan Chapter, Mr. Ajit Fernando, and all other institutional heads and distinguished invitees. And also I would like to welcome all the heads from Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce. Also all the invited speakers of this conference today. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and being present here. And the paper presenters, the panelists of the conference, session chairs of the conference, and especially the EMV, Estate Management and Valuation Student Association, and all the student volunteers here today, and of course the sponsors, without which we wouldn't be able to move forward in this conference, and also the media partners, Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation, Associated Newspapers Ceylon Limited, Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and all the delegates who have registered today with us in this conference. And if we are lucky enough to inspire you, except by the speakers, but also by other arrangements, I would also like to thank all the great group of people who have been organizing ICREMV 2019, the organizing committee. So welcome all of you again for the conference, and we hope it would be a stimulating day for every one of us to build relationships, share ideas, be our voice heard, and shape the sphere of real estate with sustainable, marketable real estate, which is inclusive of aspirations of society, which reinforces wealth and transforms the economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your valuable words, Madam. As you all are well aware, our theme for this year's conference emphasizes smart real estate. And this session would be incomplete if we do not highlight its importance. Hence, let me cordially invite Senior Professor R.G. Aryavansa of the Department of Estate Management and Valuation to share his wisdom and reflections on smart real estate with all of you.
I'm really privileged and pleased to be here to deliver a special speech on the theme of today's conference, Smart Real Estates, towards unmet socio-economic needs of the country. The term smart real estate is used as the core concept of the theme of the conference with a very special meaning. As you all are well aware, real estate is the central building block of the foundation of social well-being. Lord Buddha has emphasized that an offering a house to a family means giving to them all. In fact, planning and laying foundation of a building is not merely for erecting physical structure, but it is laying foundation of nodal points or live connectors of social and market networks. Hence, it can be argued that real estate is not an optional component, but fundamental ingredient for socio-economic development of the world. This is proven by the evidence of efficient and effective real estate markets and industries in developed cities like London, Melbourne, Singapore, Tokyo, and so on. In such cities, property values are very high due to satisfied property users, suppliers, demand and supply. Contrary in cities like Colombo, property prices, not values, are very high due to high cost of property users, use and supplies, that is market operations. Hence, real estate market in city of Colombo, which is still developing, even though the country has been declared as a middle-income country in recent time, has developed country need to establish smart real estate market that produce quality and standard buildings and premises suitable for rich and prosperous nation, which has been the expectations of the country during the last few decades, since its independence, 1948. It is true that during the last few decades, Sri Lanka has recorded a wide range of achievements fulfilling the socio-economic development needs of the country. For instance, almost all families in the country are having some sort of housing. Recorded cases on street dwellers are very rare compared to the countries like India, Bangladesh, where millions of people are living on the streets. Further, nearly 100% of houses are having water closet plus toilets, WC toilets. 100% of houses are having electricity. Carpeted and concrete roads everywhere in the country, even in rural areas. Private vehicles usage is increasing rapidly. Only cars used less than 3 years allowed to import. Several supermarket chains spreading island-wide, changing the market, changing the consumer behavior in the country. Usage of mobile phones, more than 2 to 3 per person in the country, and especially booming high-end property sector in the country, especially in Colombo, is also another achievement. Per capita income has increased up to $4,000, and therefore Sri Lanka has been declared as a middle-income country recently. However, including these and many other achievements of the country, is in quantities, more in quantities, and seriously lacking qualities and standards for which the real estate market is heavily responsible. Especially the real estate sector in semi-urban areas and other areas of the country is seriously questionable. In this context, it is suggested to pay your attention on the views of property users, owners, and suppliers over the cost of construction, renovation of building and premises, quality of infrastructure, water, electricity, garbage collection, rainwater management, and so on. Public places are efficiently and effectively usable for children, differently able people, wheelchair users, and others who have special needs. What is the possibility of using washrooms and toilets in public and private places for visitors instead of high-end premises like airports or star-level hotels? What is the level of services and appearance of canteens, restaurants, and other places for food and beverage throughout the country. Quality and standards of bus halls, restrooms, transport, intersections, etc., etc. Ladies and gentlemen, likewise, there are several micro and macro level issues pushing back the social well-being of the country. Particularly, the urban communities are facing several problems due to low quality and substandard real estates. Flooding, mosquitoes, especially dengue, garbage, soil erosion, pollution, etc. Some of prevailing major known problems faced by this community. Accidents in and around of building premises, criminal activities, difficulties faced by property users, particularly aging and disabled members, etc. Some of hidden problems due to low quality and substandard real estate in our society. Misuse, underuse, overuse of properties and related problems faced by property owners, users, and neighbors are totally unpronounced real estate problems in our country. Loss of property tax income, increase of property insurance premium, higher cost of acquiring properties, higher level of cost, non-confidence of or distrust among all actors of the property market or real estate market, increase in property misuse, crime, and lack of FDI are some of debatable areas in connection with real estate market. All these problems surely are directly or indirectly related with the quality and standard of all types of real estate, such as houses, office, workplaces, leisure places, etc., etc. Therefore, as we are dreaming to become rich and prosperous nation, it is essential to maintain properties and premises in hygienic and decent manner. That is expected by educated, modern, and globally exposed buyers and sellers and users. Therefore, we proposed a national level property standards and quality levels that should be set or formulated and made adequate awareness of them to all, not only property buyers and sellers, to all. Accordingly, it is proposed to target a minimum level of quality and standards suitable for middle or upper middle level communities in majority of properties and premises, say about more than 75% at least in the country, both private and public places. These standards and quality requirements should be adopted by administrative and professional processes, such as providing approvals, monitoring and supervising projects, development and management of properties, auditing of properties, entering into property agreements, etc., etc. More especially, or more importantly, monitoring of national level property quality and standard should be compulsory in estimating property values for all purposes. Approvals of buildings or developments and issuing certificates of conformity, COCs, to use properties. Of course, the quality and standards of materials are significant in these regards. Durability of erected buildings and structures seriously depends on quality of materials, workmanship, proper use of building developed properties, and proper maintenance, etc. In this regard, quality of building materials is very crucial. Competency, the knowledge, skill, and attitudes of related workforce, including professionals and non-professionals, is seriously responsible for erecting quality and standard buildings and premises. Furthermore, awareness of modern buildings and interior among dwellers as well as visitors in both private and public places or premises is a vital need to ensure quality and standard real estate in the country. These changes, of course, will boost the country's prosperity index as well, which is very slowly moving at present. Real estate education and professionalism is another lacking area of the country. There's an urgent need of enhancing the level of real estate knowledge and applications of real estate professionalism in the country. Property users, the buyers and sellers, the developers, should adopt professional practice in dealing with all real estates. Integrating of related professionals, different professionals, is also needed to make actual teamwork in developing, using, and managing real estates. Ladies and gentlemen, in this backdrop, this conference proposes smart real estate, which is embraced with quality and standards as a strategic solution for all types of real estate problems and enabling the country to reach the target of the nation to be rich and prosperous in the near future. Accordingly, real estate market in Sri Lanka needs to ensure sustainable and marketable real estate, which is in line with the aspirations of the society to reinforce the wealth and transform the economy of the country. That is smart real estate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your enlightening words, sir. Now, may I cordially call upon the head of the Department of Estate Management and Valuation and Director of Estate Management and Valuation Research and Professional Development Center, Dr. Mrs. N.C. Wickremarashi, to address his most expectant gathering.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. Our chief guest, Vice Chancellor, Senior Professor Sampath Amaratunga, our guest of honor, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, Dr. Yuvanura Kumara, keynote speaker, Professor Ong Su, Senior Professor R.G. Arivancha, former Director of the Research and Professional Development Center, heads of collaborative partners from the country, and the representation from the academic partner, University of Saints, Malaysia, distinguished guests, invitees, ladies and gentlemen, my dear students. It is with great privilege I am addressing this eminent gathering today as the head of a department that has a great history, more than 40 years. I am proudly announce that the BSc degree program, BSc Estate Management and Valuation degree program, is the first real estate-based degree program that has been started in the university system of Sri Lanka. And it produces graduates to the field of real estate management and valuation. Not only that, it is a degree program accredited by the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveys, UK. So it is an indication of the high quality of the products of our department. So let me give you a brief history about the initiation of the program. The degree program was an outcome of the budget proposal in 1971 presented by Dr. N.M. Pereira, then Finance Minister, understanding the need of valuers for the valuation of different types of properties in the country. Accordingly, it was first started in University of Colombo in 1972 and was transferred to University of Javadhanapura in 1973. Since then, it was established in the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce. So currently, we are producing not only undergraduates, but also postgraduate students through postgraduate diploma and a master program in real estate management and valuation. So dear invitees and guests, I have no doubt that you have understood the vital role of real estate in the economy of a country. So touching and developing real estate actually means a lot to a government. Real estate is a fundamental source of generating employment opportunities, while it is a main contributor in the economic growth of a country. So currently, we are facing with two critical challenges, that is providing livable cities for the growing urban population while minimizing the environmental footprint in the built environment. Turning back to Sri Lanka, we can recognize that real estate is a booming industry in our country, opening opportunities to many sectorial development. So the efficiency of the process through which the real estate industry invests, develops, supports, and maintains the built environment and services its clients is of crucial importance for the policymakers. although there are many factors that influence the well-being of the people in the country and the economy, a performing, well-developed real estate sector provides the basic platform for all the other sectors to perform well. So in such a background, what is the role of our degree program? To tell you frankly, the graduates of our degree program caters to 3 recognized fields in the real estate market. That is real estate valuation, real estate planning, and real estate management. So I must tell you at this point that our graduates are enriched with adequate knowledge through learning a combination of subjects related to land and building, such as property valuation, land economics, urban and regional planning, real estate finance, marketing, development, etc. and etc. Meanwhile, they get proper training through the private and public sector involvement. So, up to now, around 2,000 graduates we have been provided to the market. So, it is our belief that handling real estate for the benefit of the society requires perfect training and sharing knowledge in between the academia and the industry. Hence, I have no hesitation that this conference themed as a smart real estate towards unmet socio-economic needs provides a wonderful opportunity to disseminate the new knowledge on current issues related to real estate that will be discussed, presented, speeched by a rich diversity of authors and the speakers today at this conference. So I cordially invite you all to engage in productive discussions while enjoying the glory of the event. Before concluding, I must tell you that it would have been merely a fantasy without the hard work and commitment of the great pillars. So I take this opportunity to offer my deep gratitude to the conference chair, Dr. Mrs. T.G.U.P. Pereira, and her supportive team for their substantive contribution to make this event a success. Let me close my remarks thanking everybody who has been contributed in different capacities to enrich this event today. I wish you a delightful day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam. And moving on, let me have the pleasure in inviting our guest of honor for the day, the Dean of the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, Dr. U. Anurakumara, to address the gathering.
It is very nice to see this audience. You all are practitioners, professionals in the field. As the Dean of the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, it's given me pleasure to deliver few words at this very special event. International Conference on Real Estate Management and Valuation, organized by the Department of Estate Management and Valuation of our faculty, collaboratively with many parties. This conference, organized in collaboration with the University of Sains, Malaysia. They are the academic partner. Government Valuation Department, Institute of Valuers, Sri Lanka, the Royal Institute of Chartered Survey, Sri Lankan chapter, the Urban Development Authority, Colombo Municipal Council. You are the experts in the field. This conference creates an exceptional opportunity of the academia, professionals, and practitioners to share your knowledge and experience regarding the local reality in the state management and valuation. Our State Management and Valuation Department, as head of department clearly mentioned, is a unique department in the Sri Lankan university system. It is the only department producing graduates doing research in this field. Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce is committed. High quality teaching and learning, research and development, community development, international orientation by promoting multidisciplinary environment for its stakeholders, for its members. Our main intention is to produce high-profile graduates, internationally recognized researchers, academics in the field of management and accounting, while contributing to the national development. This research conference theme is timely selected: smart real estate. Real estate management is based on land. Land is the most important finite resource. Everything based on land. We all are integrated part of a whole system which constitutes people and environment. Human population are increasing. Land is very limited. Human needs and want increasing. Our planet is changing, challenging at an extraordinary rate. Population increasing. We all are in a single system. System provides us our needs and wants. Our main duty is to serve the system, work for the well-being of the system. We have institution. There is a purpose of this institution. Given purpose. We need to work for the purpose. We do research. We have research conferences. We have dialogues. We need to do the research to serve the system for the well-being of the system. If we serve the system, system will take care of us. Some people, most of them believe, if we work for our own benefits, if individual develop, society system will develop. That is not the way. That is not the way. That is the way we thought. That's why we face serious issues. As I mentioned earlier, our planet is changing at an extraordinary rates. So we have duty. Our role is to serve the system. Serve the system. This research we do for the common good, not for private, not for the private, our own goods. We need to do research to genuinely address the real problem. Most of us do research. We use the research problem for our own benefits. We are not worried about the real issue. Real issues are still remaining. We have done research. We have got our promotion. Our profile is okay. We get benefits. Actually, we need to do research as a spiritual development activity. When we do the research, when we do our duty, when we address the purpose, we change, we get the benefit, and also system, others get the benefit. That is our happiness. If we work in that manner, if we serve the system, system will take care of us. So I don't take much time. Experts on the plow. This is your day. This is your research conference. I hope this will be a fruitful, very useful research conference. I take this opportunity to congratulate and appreciate Head of Department, Dr. Nishani Vikramarachchi, Professor Arivansa, and other academic members of the department for your effort, your contribution. You have created a platform to discuss share the experience of the expert in the field. And also I take this opportunity to thank all collaborative parties. Your support, we need as a faculty, we need as a department. Our country need, this planet need. So I highly appreciate your contribution. I wish you all the best for the conference, for the events, and also future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your inspiring words, which are always of great value to us, sir, which is why we have arranged a small token of appreciation in recognition of all the support that you render all throughout. And to give away this token of appreciation, may I cordially invite Dr. Mrs. Upuli Pereira, the chair of ICREMV 2019. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let me have the honor in inviting the chief guest of today's inauguration, the Vice Chancellor of University of Sri Jayawardenepura, Senior Professor Sampath Amaratunga.
So timely, important topic today. Anyway, smart cities. If you take this smart, the concept, we used this 25 years ago to people who are really smart, dense, having a clear, good haircut, a matching colors, shirt and the trouser, having good pair of shoes. So we call them as smart. But today, not just looking the outer appearance, considering everything, whether you are prompt, how you reply your emails, what is the time duration for a reply? Do you answer the phone? If you have a missed call, how you follow up it? When you telephone to someone, if the person won't answer, are you taking the next call immediately or you are trying to contact him via a text message? So if you want to become smart, several things you have to achieve. Otherwise, you will not become smart even though your pair of shoes, your matching shirt and the trouser is high quality. And if you ask from yourself whether you are smart, you have the answer. If you are running an organization, you can ask whether my organization is smart. Maybe government servants are here. So you can ask the same question whether our country is smart, whether my village is smart. This is all depends on smartness of our people, not because of anybody. If you are good, then the place will become good. If you are bad, we cannot expect a good place. So, it's timely important to invite a professor from National University of Singapore, because I have Googled just here, just to find what is the smartest country when others were delivering their speeches. It is Singapore. It is Singapore. So we can share this experience. So I believe I am smart because I search quickly what is the best place, because we are talking about real estate. Second is London. Third, New York, San Francisco and Chicago, 3 American cities. And Seoul, Berlin, Tokyo, Barcelona, Melbourne. So many Asian cities in first 10. But if you can remember, soon after the Second World War, we were very smart to help Japan. Late former President J.R. Jayawardena helped Japan to establish themselves after the Second World War. We were very smart. They were number 2 and now number 3. So last week I was in China. I was addressing a large gathering. So I have told them, don't forget Sri Lanka, because soon after your revolution by great Mao Zedong, to become a full member in the United Nations, we have helped you all. We are first 5 in the first 5 nations to go there and establish diplomatic relations. We have helped China. And today, I have told our Singapore professor that your great former prime minister, maybe you all don't know, he worked in a jewelry shop owned by a Sri Lankan in Singapore. He who brought him to Sri Lanka to show the prosperity. So we were very smart, helping everybody. But we are having a conference today with greatest difficulties because our non-academic staff and administrative staff, they are not coming for work. This is the third week we are functioning like this. So yesterday we came to know the railway strike was finished. So to have a smart country, you have to give the fullest cooperation to the nation to develop. So otherwise, this will never become a place where we wanted to have. So we helped everybody. We helped everybody. But to see the rate of growth is today around 3. Around 3. So we are at the middle income level and we cannot expect huge foreign loans for the lowest interest rates today because we are at the middle level. There are so many things. One example, our roads are enough for transportation, but because of bad driving, this has become a problem for all of us. If you go to Japan, you cannot see a network like this. But we have enough roads, even professionals. Sometimes we criticize three-wheel drivers for their driving, but even professionals, so-called, won't drive smartly. When it is come to parking, totally it's not the way that we have to drive vehicles. So many things we have to think about. So this particular department is very smart. Why they are smart? They have the accreditation of the royal body to get the highest endorsement for their degrees, RICS. Last time I have visited the RICS at London and talked about getting the same endorsement for the MSc as well. So because we have a lot of partnering companies here, if you employ an undergraduate of this place, they have the smart endorsement of RICS. Very soon we will get the endorsement of the same qualification for MSc as well. So Sri Jayawardenepura University started in 1873. Mahanayaka Sumangala Thero is our founder. He was the main personality in the freedom struggle. He wanted to establish a proper education mechanism in our country. He wanted to continue Mahavihara tradition again. At Mahavihara, we have taught Mahaviharan doctrine that was built by King Devanam Petissa. So we are a university coming from that tradition. More than 2,000 years, the history we can claim, like Nalanda. So today, we are the largest university in the country. If you look at the Scopus publications, there are 15 national universities. There are 2 universities growing very fast in terms of research. So according to statistics, that is Sri Jayawardhanapura. Let me tell you the next name as well, Moratuwa. We have doubled, not tripled, our Scopus, the high impact research publications within 5 years. We are running with 25 research centers. So I don't want to take much time. This faculty also very smart. So discipline is number 1 in this faculty. Discipline. The beauty of this place is all academic staff members working together when it is come to discipline. Just 5 months ago, we have closed the faculty suddenly for 3 days to give punishment to our own students for bad behavior. We have given them a good lesson and open and running it again. But unfortunately, for the last 3 weeks, we are closed. All 3 years at home. Number 1, number 2, 2,250 at home. Not only at Sri Jayawardhanapura, everybody. So last convocation we had just 1 month ago. 2018 convocation, there was no session for the medical faculty because they were closed for 1 year, going against the Saitam. So this is the place we live. So if you are smart, if your place is smart, definitely this country will become smart like Singapore. So please help the country to become number 1 in the world, the dream, at least 1 in Asia, or at least number 1 in South Asia. So that is our dream. Thank you very much coming for the conference and having this much of partnering agencies with this small department. It is marvelous. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the very smart and inspiring words. And I'm sorry that I can't let you settle in your seat yet, because we definitely can't let you leave without appreciating you for all the effort that you put forward in driving our university towards its best. And to give away this token of appreciation to our chief guest for today, I most cordially invite the head of the Department of Estate Management and Valuation and the Director for Research and Professional Development Center, Dr. Mrs. N.C. Wickramaratne. Ladies and gentlemen, and now towards the most awaited segment of today's session. Let me have the honor of introducing you to the keynote speaker for today. Professor Ong Seo Yeng holds a PhD in Finance and Masters in Business from Indiana University, and his research interest includes real estate investment trusts, securitized real estate, auctions, real estate derivatives, price discovery, housing finance and affordability issues, PropTech and real estate innovation and technology. As a CFA charter holder, he has substantial work experience in investment and portfolio management, derivative analysis, and property valuation during his stints with the Inland Revenue Authority, Government of Singapore, Investment Corporation, and Overseas Union Bank. He was an independent director of Cambridge Industrial Trust, a real estate investment trust listed on the Singapore Exchange from 2006 to 2014. Professor Eng has consulted for various property consultants, government bodies, and private organizations. He has also been invited to speak at conferences and seminars both locally as well as in USA, Canada, Germany, UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, China, Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong, Macau, South Africa, Turkey, Bahrain, and UAE. Professor Eng sits on the editorial board of international real estate journals such as the Journal of Real Estate and Finance and Economics and Journal of Property Research. He is a fellow at the Weimar School of Advanced Studies in Real Estate and Land Economics, USA, and the recipient of the 2005 International Real Estate Society Achievement Award for Outstanding Research, Education, and Practice at the international level. Professor Eng was a board member of the American Real Estate and Urban Economics Association from 2008 to 2010. He is the 2006-2007 past president of the International Real Estate Society and the 2002-2003 past president of the Asian Real Estate Society. In addition, he has served on the program committees of the AREUEA International, European Real Estate Society, and ASRES conferences. With that note, dear sir, may I have the honor of inviting you on stage to deliver the keynote address.
It's really quite an honor, really, to come to a wonderful country of Sri Lanka. This is my first visit actually here, and I don't know why it took me so long to come to your lovely country. But it's really my privilege and honor to be here to address you in this international conference of real estate management and valuation. All right, so to start off with, I'm going to share with you my personal journey in the last few years about PropTech and how PropTech affects real estate markets and the price discovery process. Actually, the long resume you heard just now introducing me, I feel a bit embarrassed because nowadays when I introduce myself, I just say that I'm a storyteller. I tell stories about my experiences, and I'm going to tell you my story in this journey looking at PropTech. So to lay the framework, the sort of stage for us, let me cite for us two sort of news items recently. The first is from New York Times that says that what is really hot in the next decade in the technology sector will be real estate. 2 weeks ago, I was at a conference in Singapore, and one of the keynote speakers there said that real estate is one of the least technologically advanced industries in the whole world. So that being the case, if these two statements are right, then we are really in for an exciting sort of ride for life. But before doing that, let me explain what is PropTech. Sometimes we use the word real tech, all right, instead. So PropTech or real tech, it simply refers to technologies that impact the built environment and the real estate sector, either through business models innovation, product innovation, which either way, PropTech or real tech affects the way we live, work, and play. Right. It is also sometimes referred to as the digital transformation, right, in the property industry. Just like fintech has affected the whole finance industry, PropTech is supposed or is deemed to be the disruptive force that's going to affect the property industry. So, two things to note here. It's not only technological change that we are talking about. The second is a mentality change. So, just to underscore what has been said before in the previous speeches, we really need a mindset change, right? In order to really understand what is PropTech and what it means for us. I'll explain a bit more of that later on. So this term of these PropTech terms collectively refers to startups as well that is offering technological innovative products and new businesses. And we hear of startups that is coming out nowadays by the month, by the week, that basically disrupt the existing businesses. So if I could sort of draw a graphic map for you, the big circle you see here is PropTech, and there's a lot of overlap between PropTech and FinTech, right, the financial technology. And I've sort of also carved out ConTech, which is the technology in construction, collaborative economy, the sharing economy, Airbnb, or Grab, Uber, and so forth. Then there's this smart real estate where smart cities sort of comes in. And then there's real estate fintech, all right, which is the overlap between PropTech and fintech. So these are terms that we've around for a long time. I won't go through all of this because to do so, I'll probably need a whole subject or module, right? It will take 12 weeks. But my involvement in this area, and I'm showing you some of the organizations, all right, and initiatives in Singapore that is relevant to our talk today on PropTech market. So PropTech has garnered a lot of funding, a lot of interest in the past few years. This slide shows you the financing that goes into PropTech in the last few years. Another different slide here showing you the flow of funds, all right, so over the last few years. And in terms of countries, this slide shows you that in the Greater China, a lot of money is going into property technology, and likewise in this part of the world, India, all right, is a big leader as well. And in Southeast Asia, I guess Singapore is one of those. In Southeast Asia, we are putting a lot of money into property technology. So if you take a longer perspective or timeline of technology in real estate, I can basically show you from 2000 onwards, where the first dot-com sort of movement off the bus. And then not so long ago, with the mobile devices, smartphones, social media coming up, 3G coming up, and then we have an onset of databases where we talk about NoSQL, Cassandra, and so forth. Then we talk about programming advances, the likes of Angular, Python, Java, Bootstrap. And then, of course, more recently, we have blockchain, cloud computing, Internet of Things, 4G, all right, with cloud advances and cybersecurity advances. Now we are into this most current part of our life nowadays, where we actually talk about big data. We talk about artificial intelligence, image processing, augmented reality, virtual reality, drones, and 5G. So the take is this, right? It's already happening. We all have our smartphones with us. We all look at our smartphones. We communicate. We send email. We tweet and so forth. But currently there is a development right now where a major company is developing with an eyeglassware company that's going to put on the eyeglass sort of an AR or VR, where you can look through your glasses. It's as if you're reading your smartphone or your glasses. So you just imagine you flick your eye or blink your eye, you go to the next message, all right? You flick and blink, and then you buy a dress for your wife, or you sort of move your eyes, and then you see a traffic congestion in the roads ahead. And that's going to be the way of the future. And you think about it, that is really scary, right? It's like the movie, sci-fi movie that you used to watch. But that's the way we are heading, all right? But in terms of technology on the property sector, that's where we are really, really more interested in, isn't it? And I'm going to offer to us that there are 5 areas we can look at, all right? And the first area is the area of valuation. Next, construction. third, brokerage or real estate agency. And then there's the fourth area, which is the area of real estate transactions. And finally, the area of asset management. And in all these four areas, on the right-hand side, you see all the players, all the professionals, industry people who will be impacted or affected by property technology. All right, you can see a whole list of these people here. And I'm sure people in the audience here, you can identify readily with some of these professions that are affected. So, time does not permit me to go through all this in detail. I'm just to focus on just a few of these areas. The first area is the area of transaction. And we're already seeing it in terms of marketing portals, tenant portals that are already up. All right, in the US, in Asia, in Europe, we have seen a lot of these portals coming up, China as well, Singapore as well. And the ultimate goal of all these portals is that you can buy your property just by clicking, right, on your PC, on your smartphone, or on your eyeglasses. All right, if you just think about it, right, if you tell me today, somebody tell me today that you can buy a property just by clicking on the phone, the first thing I would think of that, hey, maybe there's a scam, all right, it's trying to scam me of my money. But we are moving towards that way, right, where iBuying, all right, is going to be a reality very soon. Right? In fact, in some parts of the world, in Zillow, for instance, right, in the US, it's already there, right? It's already a present future, right? The future is already here with us. Zillow has this ability that you can actually buy with a click on your computer or smartphone. It's really scary, isn't it? That is transactions. The second area is the area of valuation or appraisal, all right? I know over here, your department price is the premier, all right, training center for valuation. But the way of the future for valuation has for some time been pioneered by what's happening in the US and other parts of the world, where we are talking about automated valuation models, AVMs in short. AVMs are simply real estate property databases that has been formulated to provide an estimate of value, right, through simply a click on the phone. Enter your address, and they come out with estimated value for you. I'm not sure whether you have AVMs in Sri Lanka, from what little I know. I don't think are there yet. But we already have this in Singapore and in many parts of the world, such as the US, for instance. So in the US, for instance, it has become so sophisticated that now they're talking about super AVMs. Super AVM simply means that if you want the value of your home, we can give you a value. But if you want to ask how fast you can sell your home in, suppose you want to sell in 30 days, the super AVM will give you a value for 30-day sale. And if you want to sell it in 60 days, they'll give you a different value. And you sell it in 90 days, they'll give you a different value. That means how urgent you are to sell your property, the super AVM can tell you the estimated value of your home. All right? And that's done by researching into how long it takes to sell a property at what price. I'm not sure whether this sounds a bit alien to you, but this is really what's happening in the world out there. Now, the third area which I'm going to talk about is in brokerage, that is a real estate agency, all right? So Zillow website is a prime example of how innovation has occurred in the brokerage industry. Another Purple Bricks, all right, in Europe, there's also a well-known portal that allows online interfaces, right, between potential buyers and sellers. So essentially, if you are interested in buying a property, you go online, you check for a property, and all these listings will be online. You can actually check on them, and that is where you can start to make your search become so much faster, so much quicker, and so much more efficient. Right. So in Sri Lanka, also, from what little I know, I found a Lanka property website and a Lanka land website that provides property. These are basically property portals, right, where you can go online and search and find your dream homes. So I did a bit of searching on this website. I was looking for nice condominiums and resort homes and a seaside, and I found it on the website. All right, so it's really here with us already in Sri Lanka. So these are things that's happening around the world, And essentially, as academics, as researchers, we don't do research just for sake of doing research, as our previous speaker has mentioned. We really want to ask, what does this prop tech mean for the real estate professionals, for you, people out there sitting in the audience? So let me suggest that what it means are three things, right? First thing is that prop tech is more insidious than we think. Right? It is happening even as we sit here and talk and listen to me, right? It's already happening. So every week or every month, I will hear of something that's happening in the prop tech sector, and I'll go like, wow, is this really happening? So it's really happening, right? It's a lot insidious than we think. The second thing I would suggest is that it can make dinosaurs of all of us. I'm old, right? So I'm a dinosaur already. But if we don't pay attention to prop tech, we risk the danger of being dinosaurized, if there's such a word. But that's true, right? And third thing is that because we risk being dinosaurized, we have to be on our toes. So prop tech keeps us on our toes. Now, it doesn't go too nicely with you. I will encourage you to read this very famous book by Spencer Johnson, Who Moved My Cheese. The idea is that you always anticipate change. If you don't anticipate change, you're going to go hungry, you're going to be out of a job, you're going to be marginalized. That's the bottom line. So prop tech is important. Right, so how then, you ask, how then should we respond to prop tech? So here are some of the things that I'm going to suggest. You can keep up with advances. You can invest in technology yourself. You can experiment, all right, with different types of technologies and see which work. And for our students, to my students at NUS, I always tell them, your students must have an innovative mindset. Innovate. Dare to innovate, right? Dare to think out of the box. Essentially ask, what can we value add using technology to our current work processes? If there's something that we value add to our current work processes, that's something to look into. Keeping in touch with stakeholders, all right, with our clients who are stakeholders, that's very important. And especially for me, I always think it's important to engage with the younger generations. So later on, I'm going to walk over there and spend a lot of time at the poster sessions because I want to engage with your students, all right, to find what they're doing. So essentially, the way to respond to prop tech is that you either disrupt yourself or you will be disrupted. You disrupt yourself, either disrupt yourself or you will be disrupted. So that's a mindset thing I'm talking about. It's just technology is there, we cannot run away from it. What we can change is that we change our mindset to it. So that's why the main thing. Now in Singapore, we are, I suppose, well known for many things, and one of the things is that we are known to be a smart city. And a couple of years ago, Singapore came out with these industry transformation roadmaps for different sectors in industry. And this is a Singapore real estate industry transformation roadmap. I'll come back to this later on to say how personally I'm involved in this and how my research impact on this whole roadmap. So I'm going to suggest that the way to evaluate prop tech is to think of it this way. Prop tech enhances our information flow. Prop tech explicitates price discovery, and prop tech enables transactions. And you realize that by now, this talk is very much on economic finance-based sort of perspective, but that's because of my training. I apologize for that. So I'm going to sort of share with you 3 examples, right, of how prop tech, how I've been involved looking at prop tech and how my research into prop tech has evolved in the last few years. So I call them stories because I'm a storyteller. All right, first story is about X value. It's nothing to do with X-Men. X value is simply an AVM valuation. All right, and it's devised by this company called SRX, which is a prop tech pioneer in Singapore space. It was launched in 2014, and the AVM that they have churns out a X value. Right, so the X value is simply an indicative value. So they were really, they really put a lot of money into it, and they invested a lot of time and effort into building up this AVM. But one of the things that they of the troubles that SRX ran into was that they ran into some opposition or some tension with the Valuation Association, all right, in Singapore, because the society says that, AVMs are not real valuations because you affect valuers, right? And so SRX was very keen to sort of authenticate and validate their AVMs. And one of the things that they therefore wanted to show and demonstrate to the public is that they want to say how can their X value, how can their AVM benefit buyers, how can it benefit developers. So they're trying to show that their AVMs are useful. So that's where we came in. My colleague and I, we actually talked to them and we said, okay, maybe one way to look at this issue is to ask the question, how will AVM affect developers in the way they price their property projects? Are you with me? So for instance, a developer is going to launch a big project in a prestigious area in Singapore, and the developer normally have their own pricing schemes, right? They have their pricing and they sell, they put the property on the market, and it takes some time for you to sell. And so we asked the question, what if developers had used the X value as their listing prices? In other words, instead of relying their own gut feel to come up with listing prices, use the X value AVM model to churn out listing values. And what we are trying to find out is that essentially that we know what is their list price, we know what is the X value, and we're going to ask a question, if they have moved from their list price, instead of using a list price, they use X value, would their projects have sold faster or sold slower? Are you with me? So that was a research question that we asked. In a way, it is counterfactual, all right, but that's how we look at our research. And what we found was that we basically compute a list to X value. That means the list price is here. We compute the X value, and suppose the X value is here. So X value, think about is the valuation. So we find that the lower this difference, the faster the unit will sell. In other words, if the developer had decided to use X value instead of their actual list price, they would actually sold their projects much faster time. Now, in a market where it's very volatile, a market where prices are going down, you would appreciate that to sell your projects faster, to clear off faster, would be a good thing. Right? So this is a main result of our study. Says that if the developers had used an AVM to price their projects, they would actually clear their units much, much faster. But that's a real impact if they had done so. Right? So that's my first story. My second story looks at a different dimension, which is the whole different thing about a property agent review. Now, what is a property agent review? You will be familiar, right? If you go on and stay in a hotel through TripAdvisor, Booking.com, or any such website, after you stay there, you can actually evaluate and rate the hotel. You know what I mean? Right? So you suppose you stay in Shangri-La, then after your stay, you sort of evaluate them. So the idea was that why can't we also rate real estate agents? Now, when this idea came out in Singapore, I was so thrilled. I said, look, this is really interesting because now we can actually look at how rating affect property agents. All right? So this is where Purple Bricks actually have, you look at on there on the line, they have 67,000 reviews, which a lot of them are rated excellent. So Purple Bricks is way ahead of the game, and they basically have their agents being rated by their customers. So customers are the clients, right, who engage the agents. So those customers can say, this agent is very good, or this agent is no good, all right, and they review them, all right. So when an agency in Singapore came out with the same idea, right, this agency is called Orange Tea. They were the first in Singapore to come out with this customer rating and review system. When it first came out, I was so thrilled. I said, hey, I want to know, I don't know these people, but I want to know them because I want to do some research with them, all right? I want to see whether customers' rating matter or not to real estate agents. All right, so I approached them, made a cold call, and well, the long and short of it all, that they actually were open enough talk about mindset, right? They're open enough to say, hey, we are happy to work with you. Let's see what we can find out through this research. So this is an example of what a property agent review. You go on to the website, you can find out if property you want to find out is in certain location. You click on that location, you come out with the nice pretty agent down there. But what you see is that you see the reviews by customers of this agent. You see, for instance, customer rating, how many stars this person has, what type of reviews they have. So from a research angle, what does an agent review, what is it about? It's essentially about improving transparency, isn't it? It's providing more information, all right? So it reduces information asymmetry, and of course, ultimately, it affects and it benefits customers. So if I'm looking to buy a property and I don't know which agent to choose, I look at the agent with not the prettiest face, but the agent with the best review, right? Then I'll engage this agent. So this is the idea that we went ahead and we wanted to study with them. And so what we did was that we actually basically want to find out this orange tea property agent review is not mandatory, right? So some agents adopted it, some agents didn't adopt. In other words, some agents are too worried. They say, well, if I do a review, suppose the review come out negative, right, then it will affect me and my livelihood. So not all agents do it, but that's fine because we can then study agents which have undertaken review and agents that have not undertaken review. And we basically want to find out, do the agents who are reviewed perform better in terms of the commissions they earn versus agents that did not get reviewed and the commissions that they earn? Are you with me? So we are doing what in academic terms is called a difference in difference model. And what we found was that the key thing is that does the property agent review make a difference? And what we found is that it does. So that's the bottom line. Agents who are reviewed earn higher commissions, right, after they undertook reviews compared to agents that did not undertake reviews. So this is a significant finding. When we shared this finding with the management, they were of course very happy, and then they said, hey, please share it with all our agents. So I said, okay, we did a town hall meeting, we presented our research, and it so happened that the Council for Estate Agent CEO was there. The Council for Estate Agents is a body that regulates real estate agents. And the CEO then informed the Minister for National Development of Singapore, and they came to know of it. And the next thing we know was that media, right, in 2018, the second Minister for National Development made an announcement to say that in future, all agents must have reviews. Wow, so talk about impact, right? So this was the real policy impact that we had for the real estate industry. So after this, in fact, many other agencies came out and started doing property agent reviews. But this is a good thing because we think that improves information, improves efficiency, is good for the industry. So this is one way of how a PropTech, all right, affects the real estate sector. So this is where, in terms of industry roadmap, we comes into showing how we can provide better consumer information flow, right, to better educate consumers in the big scheme of things. So that's a property agent review. Now, the current research I'm working on, which is a basis of my third story, is that we actually look at a different aspect of technology, and that is the use of drones. You know what drones are, right? They are drones that flies up and so forth. And essentially, in the bigger picture, we are asking a question that, suppose, not nowadays when you go onto a listing on a website, on a portal, you can actually click and get a 360 view of the interior of the property, right? It's called a V360 view, right? So you can click and you see on the computer at home or your smartphone, you can see what's around in the property. Well, that's been around for a long time. But if you are launching a new development, which is a 50-story development, how can you show a customer what is the view like from the 30th floor? On the 50th floor? There's no way, right? Because the property is not constructed yet. The only way to do it is to have a drone fly up to the 30th floor, 50th floor, and do a view of that. And that's where drone view comes in, all right? It not only gives you a view from that certain elevation, but it gives you a view of the surrounding neighborhood. So I don't have time to show the video. This company, SRX, they basically have a drone view. You can look around it and you can see where the business center, where the river, where's the sea, where's the mountain is, just by looking through the drone view, all right? So what we essentially interested in asking was that, let's find out how these visualization technologies, the 360 view and the drone view, how that affect price discovery, the process where people find out the right price. And we're very fortunate because we have the collaboration with SRX, the same company in my first example, where they actually share with us listings where if the listings have a 360 view or if the listing has a drone view versus listings that do not have any of this. So we are therefore able to compare and contrast the effect of 360 view and the effect of drone view on listings. More specifically, we are able to compare the effect on 4 things. Firstly, does having visualization ends up in more inquiries from potential buyers? Does that generate more interest? This is important, right? Secondly, we also want to find out, does having visualization tools increase or not affect the probability of a successful sale? The thirdly is that what is the effect of that on the time it takes to sell? And finally, perhaps most importantly, how does that affect the price of the transaction property, right? So this was the 4 questions we had to ask. And in this, if you are asking what is the price discovery is about finding out potential buyers and sellers, matching them. Price discovery is about having successful sales and transactions. Price discovery is about how fast it takes to transact. And price discovery is about the price of the transaction, isn't it? So how we find is the following, right? We find that having visualization tools actually increases the number of inquiries. It increases the probability of sale. It actually increases the amount of time. We expected it to be lower, but there's good explanation for that. But what's really more important is that visualization tools, 360 view and X-drone views result in higher transaction prices. Right, so this is something we're very excited about, and this is a paper that we presented around different parts of the world. It's really exciting, and we get a lot of interesting queries about what this means for the real estate industry. So another question we ask is that, sure, you can have all this is well and good, but how much does it cost to have a 360 view? How much does it cost to have a drone view, right? Because the benefits could be outweighed by the cost. So we did economic analysis and significance. We found that actually drone views matter. The benefits are a lot more than the cost involved. Right? So it makes sense for any property agent to actually have a drone view and a 360 view. So essentially, in a nutshell, PropTech, in these 3 examples that I've just shown you, I basically look at how PropTech affects property buyers and sellers. I share with you how PropTech affects real estate agents. All right, and I also explain to you how PropTech can affect property pricing by developers. All right, so I hope that by now you'll be clear with you that the impact of PropTech is very, very real. It can be very, very pervasive and very, very economically significant. So in other words, PropTech and technology, you can think of it as a makeover, a game changer, as well as perhaps a new chapter, all right, in our journey for the property industry as a whole. So the term disrupt or be disrupted, I think, is a very real sort of a slogan, something to think about. And coming back to the quote from one of the real estate captains who say that real estate is one of the least technologically advanced industries, I agree. I think indeed it is. But therein is the opportunity, right? Because we are slow in the game, there is still time for us to be involved in this industry, all right? So to understand, to be prepared, to have the correct mindset, I think is of paramount importance on how we can deal, and not only just deal and respond, but to benefit from that change. So the only constant is change, we all know that. So you should adapt to change, or you're going to risk becoming a dinosaur. And of course, the last point, as I mentioned, PropTech provides an unprecedented opportunity for research. I mean, that's where we are from. So 20 years ago, when the first real estate investment trust was first conceptualized and discussed in Singapore. I was invited to a conference like this, and when we talk about the idea of a real estate investment trust in Singapore, we were discussing how it can be done. And I quoted Victor Hugo, and I said that he said basically that no army can stop an idea whose time has come. So I said this of real estate investment trust. And today, the real estate investment trust sector in Singapore is the second largest in the whole of Asia Pacific. It has grown from 0 REITs to 42 REITs right now. Having served as an independent director on one of the REITs for many years, I'm very happy with that ride. It's a fantastic journey. And surely, it's something that no army could have stopped way back 20 years ago. And I'll say this of PropTech today, right? That no army can stop the idea of PropTech, because I think the idea of PropTech this time has come. Right. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, sir, for your very relevant and enlightening words. And we are indeed very grateful to you for gracing the occasion today. And we have arranged a small token of appreciation in recognition of that, sir. Please step forward to receive it, and to do the honors, I most cordially invite the Vice Chancellor of University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, Senior Professor Sampath Amarathunger. And this special award is presented to a very special personality. She has chaired the inaugural International Conference in Real Estate Management and Valuation, which was in year 2017, and also subsequently in year 2018. Dear Madam, Professor Mrs. K.G.P.K. Veerakon, please step forward to receive this token of appreciation, and to do the honors, I most cordially invite Senior Professor R.G. Aryavansa. And now, ladies and gentlemen, may I call upon Mr. Pratap Kalutantri, the Secretary of International Conference on Real Estate Management and Valuation of year 2019, to propose the vote of thanks.
Our Chief Guest, Senior Professor Sampath Amarathunger, Vice Chancellor of University of Sri Jayawardhanapura. Guest of Honor, Dr. U. Anurakumara, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce. Professor Ong Seo Eng from Department of Real Estate, National University of Singapore, keynote speaker. Dr. Atasya Asmadi from School of Housing, Building and Planning, University of Science, Malaysia, session keynote speaker. Mr. H.M. Prematilaka, Department of Estate Management and Valuation, session keynote speaker. Dr. Mrs. Nishani Vikramarchi, Head, Department of Estate Management and Valuation, Conference Chair, Dr. Upuli Pereira, Deans of Faculty, Heads of Departments, Professors, and members of the faculty and administrative staff, members of the University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, distinguished guests, invitees, students, ladies and gentlemen. On this special day of the Department of State Management and Valuation, I feel immensely proud to get the chance to present the vote of thanks on behalf of the organizers of 3rd International Conference of Real Estate Management and Valuation. This is a flagship event of the department's academic calendar. First and foremost, I thank our chief guest, Senior Professor Sampath Amarathunger, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, and guest of honor, Dr. U. Anurakumara, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, for gracing this conference. Also, I would like to thank all the heads of Department of Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce for your presence today to grace this occasion. Our sincere thanks also goes to Mr. Nyan Sribrito, Registrar of the University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, Librarian, Dr. Mrs. N.D. Vijayasundara, Acting Bursar of the University, Mrs. K.S.T.S. Jazuriya. Also, wish to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Upuli Pereira, Chairperson of ICREMV 2019, Dr. Nishani Vikramarchi, Head of the Department, Senior Professor R.G. Aryavansa, Professor Janaki Edrisingha, Mr. Terence Gunawardana, Mr. Hashini Vikramasinghe, Mr. Lasika Munasinghe, and special thanks also goes to young blood of our department, especially Ms. Gimhani Chandrasekhara, Sadisha Dias, Yashima Kumudini and Subhashini Chandasena, who have been worked exceptionally well behind the scene in this organizing this conference. ICREMV 2019 is a joint effort with its partner institution and professional members. University Science Malaysia, the academic partner, and collaborative partners includes Government Valuation Department, Urban Development Authority, Colombo Municipal Council, Institute of Valuers of Sri Lanka, Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors Sri Lankan Chapter. So, our organizing committee was strengthened by the shoulders of representatives of these institutions. Ms. Christine Pereira from Government Valuation Department, Ms. Kosala Ratnayaka from Urban Development Authority, Mrs. Chamila Sirisena from Colombo Municipal Council, Mr. James Bandara from Institute of Valuers of Sri Lanka, and Mr. Ajit Fernando as well as Mr. Taraka Veragoda from the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors in Sri Lanka. Also, we thank the EME Student Association, which is commonly known as EME Crew, and the EME Alumni Association, all the administrative staff of the university and faculty for their untiring support. Then, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to resource persons of Industrial Dialogue of ICREMV 2019, Chartered Valuation Surveyor and former Government Chief Valuer, Mr. P.W. Senaratna, Dr. Jagat Munasinghe, Chairman of Urban Development Authority, Engineer Commander Chaminda Aryadasa, Project Director, and Mr. Nama Ralapanava, Project Specialist of the Colombo Light Rail Project, as well as Mr. James Lynch, CEO of Carson Fractional Real Estate Australia. Special thanks should go to Dr. Lasit Gunawardena of Department of IT for his IT management support. Also, I would like to thank reviewers of undergraduate poster session, the Professor Jana Kumar Singha, Dr. Lasit Gunawardena, Dr. Dushan Chaminda, as well as Dr. Pravitra Madhuanti, support for the reviewing the students' poster. Further, my special thanks goes to Senior Professor R.G. Aryavansa, Dr. Nishani Wickramarachchi, Dr. Rangajiva Ratnayaka, Professor Padma Veerakon for their support as reviewers of academic session of ICREMV 2019. Also, I also wish to thank all students who have attended the conference and presenting posters. Finally, I would take this opportunity to thank the most important party of this conference, which are our sponsors. The University of Sri Jayawardenepura, Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, National Savings Bank, Sunil Fernando and Associates Private Limited, Powertech Cement Private Limited, Allianz Sri Lanka, Altair Sri Lanka, Indika Jayatilaka Valuation and Real Estate Consultancy Private Limited, Pratap Chartered Valuation and Consultancy Private Limited, Abhay Gunawardena Associates, Atlas Axilla Private Limited, Mr. James Bandara, Mr. S. Sivaskantan, Mr. W.D. Rupananda, and our media partners, Sri Lanka Rupawani Corporation, Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, Lake House, Chemex.lk, and Unlock United Nations. So, we also sincerely recognize support we received by Professor Hiran Amarasekara and Mr. Navindra Sampath to managing our ICREMV 2019 website. Finally, we like to thank the Chairman of Waters Edge, Mr. Chamat De Silva, and Waters Edge Hotel, Colombo, for providing conference venue, as well as our event manager, Mr. Buddhipa Ratnayaka and his team. So finally, this entire audience. The audience gave a good support for us with this platform. So thanks for you, and we will see you in next year, ICREM in 2020. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, before conclusion, let us all rise up in singing to the everlasting rhythm of our mother nation, the national anthem.